All right, welcome to the first episode of Talking Nonsense. I'm Brian Clough, joined here by Frank Zimmerman,
Hello.
also known as Zimmy. We are fired up to finally begin the podcast. Make sure to subscribe and like us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Tunes, and Stitcher. And we'd love to hear your feedback, as obviously this is our first podcast and we're totally new to this. So we want to get a little criticism, what we could do a little better, like adjust this. And
Even a medium thumb would actually be good.
yeah, most of them are going to be a little bit down.
Pretty much.
But yeah, give us some suggestions. We're going to have some fun with this podcast, and we're just going to go balls to the wall, have some fun with it. And the more feedback you give us is going to help us to grow the show. So obviously, you guys probably recognize Frank from VH1, the Tough Love series.
It was tough.
It was tough. And we'll go into the 4 years that followed that tough love. Anyways, but that's going to be
The
in
love
a few...
kept on getting tougher.
Oh,
trust
okay.
me.
Tougher for you, but funnier for me.
I know.
But we'll get into... We're gonna go behind the scenes on the whole Tough Love show in a couple of future episodes. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Just wanted to check into things. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. The whole coronavirus. How are you dealing with everything, Frank?
Wow, the coronavirus, basically, being that the mask actually masks a lot of me, and the fact that I don't have to buy girls dinner, amazing. Actually, my dating life is better than it's ever been.
Well, yeah, when you say that, clearly across the country, there's been a lot of domestic abuses way up, murders, spousal fighting, and a lot of breakups and everything. So there's a lot.
So I've got a theory on that. I think that women just talk too much.
They do. You know.
Men are talking.
I know.
Women love that on the first date.
Well, when we were originally have the third co-host, a woman, and she talked too much, we had to
She did.
It really did. I mean,
Yeah, she's in the dumpster.
Totally. But anyways, yeah, like you said, that's a positive thing. New people are going into new dating things. I think it's going to help me out, and if I ever decide to start dating again,
I would recommend it.
That mask will cover at least 60% of this ugly mug. And I'm working on a new mask that'll go over my eyes, and I can just poke out a little couple holes. And how could I go wrong?
Just stay home and VR it and just jack it.
I think we've all been staying home and jacking it.
Yeah.
It's well, not so much as a virtual reality jack. It's just a reality jack. Be like, oh, I hate my life. I hate my life.
Yeah. Wow, you are in a relationship. Who doesn't say that?
How do you think relationships are going to go with this whole new COVID thing going down?
Oh, man.
I mean, nobody wants to be next to each other. I clearly don't want to be this close to you.
It's like basically even people that start dating are like in a marriage all of a sudden, like, I don't want to touch you.
Yeah.
I'm not putting your tongue in my mouth.
Yeah, everybody's like, what the hell? You can't touch anybody.
Oh, and
Unless
you got
you're just
MC Hammer, can't touch this. Do.
Yeah,
And then you got parachute pants like that you just got out of your like 80s prom.
Did you ever have those?
I did not.
Tell the
Although I
truth.
did jam at it.
Yeah, you did. Did you do the
I
hammer
did take
walk?
2 virginities to Boys to Men. Boys to Men.
Wait,
Cool
boys,
Harmony.
the Virginia boys was the first one, then the men was the second one. Or?
Oh yeah, I bust a lot of cherries.
I bet.
Actually, so this is sad, and thank God I
And
had a
your
couple
teen
drinks.
says you can't touch this, and you do a moonwalk backwards.
No.
And they go, oh no, you can touch this.
No, you always tell the girl she can't touch it, so therefore she wants to touch it. Like obviously,
reverse
like
psychology.
Yeah, of course,
All right.
dude. Just like women in general are reverse psychology. And by the way, I do have a funny story. Believe it or not, I did my first concert I ever went to in college in Chicago. Went to DePaul, and Boys and Men was playing, right? So me and my roommate were Boys and Men fans, and then all of a sudden, 4 big missed things come up where they're coming past us, and they are as wide as they are width.
We'll
guess
call him
that's the same
Girthy.
thing. Yeah, let's say that.
Girthy McGee.
Let's say that. So, and I saw the biggest one. They look like Wheezy from the Jeffersons on an Edie bench. Like she hung out with our buddy Mike at Golden Corral way too long. But anyway, she's like, oh, excuse me. I'm like, I know my luck. And she sits right next to me. So they have actually the armrest, right? And her ass actually stops at the armrest. And then to get her ass in, she actually pulled, and I'm not making this up, into the armrest. So I've got half of a booty and then a titty, like the entire concert, where I'm just like, just skinny mini now, right? I mean, obviously in my skinny days.
How many years ago was this?
Yeah,
I mean, clearly this was not 2012 to 2000 present.
it was a lot of years ago, but
all right.
But anyway, I remember, and then like when they came up with the ooh-ah and they came out in their white suits and stuff like that, they actually, for her to like jump up, she had to push on the armrest several times, get a titty off my lap. So here I am with a semi, I'm in college, black big titty on my lap. I'm like, ooh, this is nice. Like,
you got a semi from that?
Yeah, I had a sitting boner.
All right. Well, luckily this isn't on video or anything, so nobody's gonna judge you on that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's. Any judging whatsoever
totally
in this entire abortion that we're doing right now.
I think I sat next to that same girl on an airplane multiple times.
Sat next to her or on her?
She's more on me.
Yeah.
I was pinned in next to that girl.
I believe that
multiple times.
And you lived to tell the tale, so God bless you.
Well, yeah, I didn't have. I would. If only I could have had a semi. You had the Zimmy semi.
In college days, you always have a semi. Like, oh, is that wind out of the southwest? Ooh,
oh my God!
I got a boner.
Masturbation was a sport back then.
Oh, daily, hourly event, really.
Oh, totally. Especially when you had to like spend. Everybody had to have a roommate like right across the way. You try to like rub one out without the other one knowing. Be like, oh, he's totally asleep. We went to a cake party. I think he had like 3 shots of tequila and a case of beer. And then you just start going at it, and he gets up to go to the bathroom. You're like, fuck.
But you got whiskey dick, and he can't come whatsoever. And it's like basically when my roommate, and you're right, like my roommate in college, when he started doing the cricket legs, I'm like, oh, stop masking it.
Yeah. It's playing a fucking tune. Jeez. But nothing was worth it. I'm probably 1 or 2 years older than you.
Yeah, 17, ladies and gentlemen. 17.
Going back home after, college and trying to, rub one out in private. Then you get home, you're like, ooh, look at this. I got a spare bedroom. You turn on the Cinemax that's been disconnected, and all you get is this big purple wave going through. You probably never experienced this. You're a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Everybody,
again, 17 years as previously.
Everybody who was rubbing one out in the 80s knows what I'm talking. You try to put on like Lady Chatterley's Lover or something like that, and all of a sudden you got this purple wave going through. You can see like one boob over here and like a vagina on the other side. You're like, I could go with that.
I was like 7 in the 80s. Like, you make the 80s sound like it was just like a
shitload. A hell of a time.
The whole populace is just walking around masturbating.
But this was before freaking cable TV and everything like really kicked in.
Oh, VHS?
There was no direct TV.
Oh, what were you on, Microfiche? Like, ooh, I saw a titty.
Only at the library until I got kicked out.
Yeah. And ironically, you were being kicked out being loud, not masturbating.
Right.
Masturbating was actually encouraged.
Yeah.
Loud, it's cool. Oh, look at the tits on that bitch.
And the best thing was I was always in detention at the time at fucking. So
nothing like a teacher with discipline. I've been bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Mr. Bradley was horrible. Boy, he used to spank us.
I'm sure he did. Sideways.
In my town, they used to have I'm a small town in Connecticut, and you'd have like the regular public school, and then you'd have the Catholic school, and you talk to all the Catholic kids, and they used to beat the fuck out of them with like rulers. And we'd be.
Did you get a boner every time? Was it by nuns?
Yeah.
Were they wearing thigh-high boots?
I tried to
think
do
I
it.
saw porn like that.
I actually tried to do an internship in 5th grade over there just to get the little fun over there. But that's a story for another time.
Actually, the small town that you describe, I really like envision the town that you grew up in is like the town from Blazing Saddles.
That's for sure.
God bless those dollars you had for your chicken nuggets.
Speaking of dollars for the chicken nuggets, I've been out of the dating scene for a little bit.
I'm very jealous.
Well, I haven't been on any dates or anything, but
No, again, I'm very jealous.
let's just say, what's the best way? Let's say I'm going to go on a date. I should probably go
Don't recommend it.
I
but
should
continue.
probably go buy a nice bottle of wine, steak dinner, maybe some shrimp cocktail. Really impress this girl that I just met 3 hours ago. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Brian. I have a theory, and it's called CPL. It's cost
Connecticut
per
Power and Light?
lay. Yeah. Miller Lay?
What's it called?
Cost per lay.
Oh.
It's a mathematical equation, so you wouldn't get it. You're not Asian. Anywho, basically,
A couple more of these
any
beers.
girls, bunch of ninjas are gonna come just kill you, but they'll be able to add up the poundage. Anyway, it's called cost per lay, and basically it's a mathematical equation that you have to the money that you spend on her. So I'm thinking more like happy hour, half price apps, half price drinks, so you can like jam down 10, so you have whiskey dick, so that your dick is like Caesar and it just pulsates and you can't come to save your life. Whiskey dick is the best thing in the world.
Now, where I come from, whiskey dick's a different thing, where it's kind of not the best thing in the world, and a guy kind of makes a few excuses, like, "Oh, this never happens. Oh, I don't know what's going on." That vent is blowing right on me.
What do you mean by that?
Whiskey dick in the Northeast is if you drank too much and you can't get a boner at all, and when it comes time to maybe have some little sexy time with the girl, as Borat would say, nothing's happening. And you got to make some excuses.
Really? You're like pushing
Oh, that's
string?
never happened to you.
Dude, whiskey dick is that you drink a shitload, your cock actually pulsates where you're like, which I always, every time I'm going to like nail a chick on the first date.
Pulsates like right after
Like
when
like
the sun
my
goes down
heartbeat.
and you see Venus going like this.
No, my like heartbeat, right? Like as my heart beats, my cock actually throbs, and she can be an acrobat on it and just like do gymnastics and shit like that. And no matter what she does, no matter how hot she is, no matter the sexiest outfit, I can't come to save my life, which is obviously very frustrating for me. It's like wearing 16 cock rings. And
Kind
anyway,
of like 16 candles, right?
yeah.
Cock rings.
I never got a boner on Molly Ringwald.
What kind of whiskey
Although Jake on his Porsche, I did masturbate to that.
Pull forward a little bit. You're hanging on that green screen.
Oh, sorry.
But
It's
what kind of
got
a whiskey do you must have? Some like pretty good whiskey going on, like Woodford. And I'm with the Jim Beam.
nope. I'm 100% Jim Beam. I don't want my dick to be like all I have a British accent and shitty teeth. Like fuck that. Oh, like I don't want to be.
Yeah, you don't want it
fucking
to match
Dr.
your
E.
date.
No, fucking Jim Beam, Jack, whatever. Wild turkey. Oh, that's the first night I had sex with a girl in her butt. That's a true story. Oh, and let me tell you this
Seeing
story.
that the girl is named Bobby Joe, we're not too sure it was a girl.
It was actually
A mullet doesn't count as freaking actually a girl's hairdo.
Yeah, actually, wasn't that you when you had long hair, like Bon John?
All right, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let's not talk about that.
But seriously, whiskey dick is like. In fact, me and one of my other friends that's like older, like you, there's like, oh, whiskey dick is like pushing string through like a mousetrap. But anyway, I'm like, no, I'm gonna buy like or rent a one of those like band buses. And like Trump is great, but I'll put like the new whiskey dick, and I'm gonna like go to every town and educate people about what whiskey dick really is.
We'll start
because
off
if
in the
you're
Northeast.
really
'Cause
drunk,
there's something going on up there.
oh, well, apparently
Something in the water.
A bunch of people have Samuel Adams and can't get it up. So, yeah, of course.
Have you ever
know
looked
your
at,
audience.
Yeah. You ever looked at the fucking face on that can? Of course you can't
Shit.
get it up.
The new whiskey dick is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the new whiskey dick.
They should have
I'm
like
going to educate people.
Sandy Adams with a hot chick on the can.
It is so frustrating, dude. I would rather actually not be able to get it up than just throb nonstop. Well, she just rides and sucks and all the other stuff.
Actually, a few of your girlfriends
mentally,
have actually
I've already
said that
came
too.
in. What?
Actually, a few of your ex-girlfriends have told you, I wish Zimmy actually did not get it up. And so
that is true. Because they're like, we started screwing at 3 o'clock. It's now 7, and I'm like raw.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, the new whiskey dick.
The
Just
new
know
whiskey
that.
dick. All right. It was a pleasure having you guys. And our next episode, we're going to go into the old whiskey dick. No, I'm just kidding. But
mostly Brian.
I'm going to give you some stories. Bring your tissues. There's going to be a lot of tears from me mostly. But
well, tissues aren't going to be for me. I'm not going to come.
Oh,
obviously.
Well, in closing, I wanted to. We were trying to fire off this podcast a little bit earlier, and I'll tell you just one quick little story that it starts off a little sad, but it doesn't end too sad.
It ends sad.
So we were supposed to shoot this on Thursday night. My cat got a little over the edge, 19 years old, and was in bad shape. So I decided to bring in a vet to put her down on Friday morning. So long story short, we put her down, and the vet had the cat on top of my legs, and it took about 25, 30 minutes, and I'm starting to get emotional and everything, sniffling, and I got that stupid mask on, so I'm loading up on the booger session going on the thing.
Bubbles.
Snot bubbles are going. I'm kind of like whimpering a little bit, but it's more of just the big bubbles coming up underneath the mask, and I'm like, oh, God. So I finally get up, and the vet goes, and she's this young girl, very nice, friendly, and vivacious and everything. And so she goes, do you want a tissue? I'm like, oh, no, I got one right over here. And I take like 2 steps behind her and grab my tissue box. And I'm like, oh, God, I got to get rid of all these freaking snots. So I go to blow my nose. I'm like, I blow it as hard as I have because I got extra boogers up there and everything. And as I'm blowing, I blow out the biggest fart I've laid in my life at the same exact time at the same exact place. And the place, there's no TV on. It's tile floor, walls,
The
echoes.
air
Conditioning was not on. And, we're in Florida right now, so January we have to put the air conditioner on sometime.
Lucky us.
So I'm like, oh no, she totally heard that. It is the most awkward time. I got like a tear coming down my eye. And so I grab a couple other tissues. I blow out 2 more big fucking snorts, and just to try to cover up the first one, because I don't know if the timing was exactly perfect with the sneeze and the blowing of the nose or not. But it was an awkward moment. Anyways, we'll leave it at that. We're looking forward to seeing you guys next week. You guys have a great time. And what we're going to do now is hopefully you can cheer us.
God bless and stay safe.
We'll let Zimmy lead this one.
For sure.
Go ahead, give it the old.
From the window
to the wall. Cheers, folks.